Hello, friends. Welcome back to our channel. As we journey through life, our bodies change, and so should our eating habits. For those over 50, certain foods that we may have enjoyed in our younger years can now pose unexpected health risks. This isn't about depriving ourselves, but making informed choices to help us maintain our vitality and well-being as we age. Let's explore 15 common foods that might be secretly affecting our health and discover why it's worth thinking twice before putting them on our plates. 1. Hot dogs. Hot dogs, a popular processed meat, are often enjoyed at barbecues and sporting events. However, for people over 50, consuming hot dogs regularly can pose several health risks. These sausages are typically made from a mixture of meat trimmings, fat, and various additives. The high sodium content in hot dogs can be particularly concerning for older adults, as it may contribute to high blood pressure and increase the risk of heart disease and stroke. Moreover, hot dogs often contain nitrates and nitrites, preservatives that enhance flavor and prevent bacterial growth. When cooked at high temperatures, these compounds can form nitrosamines, which are known carcinogens. This is especially worrying for older adults, as the risk of developing certain cancers increases with age. Another concern is the high saturated fat content in hot dogs. As we age, our metabolism slows down, making it easier to gain weight and harder to maintain healthy cholesterol levels. Consuming foods high in saturated fats can lead to increased LDL, bad cholesterol, potentially contributing to the buildup of plaque in arteries. Replacing hot dogs with leaner protein sources, such as grilled chicken or fish, can provide better nutritional value and support overall health for those over 50. 2. Cola drinks. Cola drinks can be particularly harmful for those over 50. These carbonated beverages are often loaded with sugar, with a single 12-ounce can containing up to 39 grams. This high sugar content can be especially problematic for older adults, as the risk of developing type 2 diabetes increases with age. Regular consumption of sugary drinks can lead to rapid spikes in blood glucose levels, putting additional stress on the pancreas and potentially leading to insulin resistance over time. The phosphoric acid in cola drinks is another concern for the 50-plus age group. This compound can interfere with calcium absorption, potentially contributing to bone density loss. Our bodies naturally lose bone mass as we age, making us more susceptible to osteoporosis and fractures. Regular cola consumption may accelerate this process, increasing the risk of falls and subsequent complications. Furthermore, the caffeine content in cola drinks can disrupt sleep patterns, which are often already challenged in older adults. Quality sleep is crucial for cognitive function, mood regulation, and overall health. The diuretic effect of caffeine can also lead to increased urination, potentially exacerbating issues with incontinence or prostate problems that are more common in this age group. 3. Trans fat containing cookies. Cookies containing trans fats are particularly dangerous for individuals over 50. Trans fats, often listed as partially hydrogenated oils on ingredient labels, are artificial fats created through an industrial process that adds hydrogen to liquid vegetable oils to make them more solid. These fats are notorious for their negative impact on heart health, a concern that becomes increasingly important as we age. Trans fats simultaneously raise LDL, bad cholesterol levels, and lower HDL, good cholesterol levels, creating a double threat to cardiovascular health. This can lead to an increased risk of heart disease, stroke, and other cardiovascular problems, which are already more prevalent in older adults. Moreover, trans fats have been linked to increased inflammation in the body, which can exacerbate conditions like arthritis and contribute to cognitive decline. 4. Diet soda. Diet soda might seem like a smart alternative for those over 50 looking to reduce their sugar intake, but it comes with its own set of health risks. While these beverages are calorie-free, they contain artificial sweeteners that can unexpectedly affect the body. Some studies suggest that these sweeteners may actually increase cravings for sweet foods, potentially leading to overconsumption of calories from other sources. For older adults, the impact of diet soda on bone health is particularly concerning. The phosphoric acid found in many diet sodas can interfere with calcium absorption and may contribute to bone loss over time. This is especially problematic for postmenopausal women, who are already at higher risk for osteoporosis. While the exact mechanism is not yet fully understood, artificial sweeteners may affect blood vessel function or trigger inflammatory responses in the body. 5. White bread. White bread, a staple in many diets, can be particularly problematic for those over 50. This refined grain product is made from wheat flour that has been stripped of its bran and germ, leaving only the starchy endosperm. As a result, white bread lacks many essential nutrients, such as fiber, vitamins, and minerals essential to whole grain bread. For older adults, the rapid digestion of white bread can lead to quick spikes in blood sugar levels. These fluctuations can be especially challenging for those managing or at risk of type 2 diabetes, a condition that becomes more common with age. Over time, these blood sugar spikes can contribute to insulin resistance and increase the risk of developing metabolic syndrome. The lack of fiber in white bread is another concern for the 50-plus age group. Adequate fiber intake is crucial for maintaining digestive health and preventing constipation, which tends to become more prevalent as we age. Fiber also plays a role in maintaining healthy cholesterol levels and promoting a feeling of fullness, which can aid in weight management, an important factor for older adults with slowing metabolisms. 6. Canned chicken noodle. Soup. Canned chicken noodle soup, often considered a comforting meal, can be a hidden source of excessive sodium for those over 50. A single serving can contain up to 40% of the recommended daily sodium intake, which is particularly concerning for older adults who may be more sensitive to sodium's effects on blood pressure. High sodium intake is linked to hypertension, a major risk factor for heart disease and stroke, conditions that become more prevalent with age. Moreover, the noodles in these soups are often made from refined grains, lacking the fiber and nutrients found in whole grain alternatives. This can contribute to rapid spikes in blood sugar levels, which is especially problematic for older adults managing or at risk of diabetes. The canning process can also lead to a loss of nutrients in the vegetables, reducing the overall nutritional value of the soup. Some canned soups also contain monosodium glutamate, MSG, which some individuals may be sensitive to and may experience symptoms like headaches or nausea. 7. Red wine. Red wine has long been touted for its potential health benefits, particularly for heart health. However, for those over 50, the risks of regular consumption may outweigh the benefits. While moderate red wine intake has been associated with increased HDL, good cholesterol, and antioxidants, like resveratrol, alcohol consumption becomes riskier as we age. Older adults tend to have a lower tolerance for alcohol due to changes in body composition and metabolism. This increases the risk of falls and accidents, which can have severe consequences in later life. Alcohol can also interact negatively with many medications commonly prescribed to older adults, potentially leading to dangerous side effects or reducing the effectiveness of the medication. 8. Deep-fried chicken. Deep-fried chicken, while delicious, poses several health risks for those over 50. The cooking process involves submerging the chicken in hot oil, which adds significant calories and creates harmful compounds. When oil is heated to high temperatures, it can produce acrylamide, a substance linked to an increased risk of cancer, particularly in older adults. The batter used in deep frying often contains refined flour and various additives, which can contribute to inflammation in the body. Chronic inflammation is a key factor in many age-related diseases, including arthritis and cognitive decline. The high-fat content in deep-fried chicken can also put additional strain on the liver, an organ that naturally becomes less efficient with age. Deep-fried foods can significantly raise blood triglyceride levels, a type of fat associated with an increased risk of heart disease. Additionally, the excessive calories in deep-fried chicken can contribute to weight gain, which becomes more challenging to manage as metabolism slows with age. 9. Whole milk. Whole milk, often considered a nutritious beverage, can be problematic for adults over 50. While it's true that milk is an excellent source of calcium, which is crucial for bone health, the high saturated fat content in whole milk can outweigh its benefits for this age group. Saturated fat has been linked to increased LDL cholesterol levels, potentially contributing to the development of cardiovascular disease. As we age, our bodies become less efficient at processing dietary cholesterol, making it more important to limit sources of saturated fat. Additionally, many adults over 50 develop some degree of lactose intolerance, as the body produces less of the enzyme lactase. This can lead to digestive discomfort, bloating, and other gastrointestinal issues when consuming whole milk. The calorie density of whole milk can also be a concern for older adults trying to manage their weight. With a slower metabolism, it becomes easier to consume excess calories, potentially leading to weight gain. 10. Swordfish. While swordfish is a lean source of protein, its high mercury content presents a significant health risk for those over 50. Mercury is a neurotoxin that can accumulate in the body over time, potentially leading to neurological issues. Older adults are particularly vulnerable to the effects of mercury, as their bodies may be less efficient at eliminating toxins. The nervous system becomes more sensitive with age, making it more susceptible to mercury's harmful effects. Prolonged exposure to high levels of mercury can lead to tremors, impaired vision and hearing, and memory problems. For older adults already at risk for cognitive decline, consuming high-mercury fish like swordfish could accelerate these issues. Additionally, mercury exposure has been linked to an increased risk of cardiovascular problems. It may contribute to oxidative stress and inflammation in blood vessels, potentially leading to hypertension and an increased risk of heart attacks and strokes. 11. Raw oysters. Raw oysters, often considered a delicacy, can pose significant health risks for individuals over 50. Our immune systems naturally weaken as we age, making us more susceptible to foodborne illnesses. Raw oysters can harbor various harmful bacteria, including Vibrio vulnificus, which can cause severe infections in older adults. The risk of septicemia, a life-threatening bloodstream infection, increases dramatically when consuming raw oysters, especially for those with compromised immune systems or chronic liver diseases, which are more common in the over 50 age group. Symptoms can be severe, including fever, chills, and septic shock. Moreover, raw oysters can be a source of norovirus, a highly contagious virus that causes gastroenteritis. For older adults, the dehydration resulting from this illness can be particularly dangerous, potentially leading to hospitalization. 12. Grapefruit juice. Grapefruit juice, while nutritious, can be potentially dangerous for adults over 50 who are taking certain medications, particularly statins. Statins are commonly prescribed to older adults to manage cholesterol levels and reduce the risk of heart disease. However, grapefruit juice can interfere with the body's ability to metabolize these drugs. The compounds in grapefruit juice inhibit an enzyme in the intestines that normally breaks down statins and other medications. This can lead to higher levels of the drug in the bloodstream, potentially causing adverse effects. For statins, this may include an increased risk of muscle pain, liver damage, and, in severe cases, a life-threatening condition called rhabdomyolysis. It's not just statins that can interact with grapefruit juice. Other medications commonly prescribed to older adults, such as certain blood pressure medications, anti-anxiety drugs, and immunosuppressants, can also be affected. The interaction can occur even if grapefruit juice is consumed hours before or after taking the medication, making it a persistent risk for those on these drugs. 13. Bacon. A beloved breakfast staple, bacon presents several health concerns for individuals over 50. As processed meat, bacon contains high levels of sodium and preservatives, including nitrates and nitrites. When consumed regularly, these additives have been linked to an increased risk of colorectal cancer, a risk that becomes more significant with age. The high saturated fat content in bacon is particularly problematic for older adults. As we age, our bodies become less efficient at metabolizing fats, potentially leading to increased cholesterol levels and a higher risk of cardiovascular disease. The excess fat can also contribute to inflammation in the body, exacerbating conditions like arthritis that are more common in the over 50 age group. Bacon's high sodium content is another concern for older adults. With age, blood pressure tends to rise, and the body becomes more sensitive to sodium's effects. Regular consumption of high-sodium foods like bacon can contribute to hypertension, increasing the risk of heart disease and stroke. 14. Sugary breakfast cereals. Sugary breakfast cereals, often marketed as a quick and convenient meal option, can be particularly detrimental to the health of those over 50. These cereals are typically high in added sugars and low in fiber, leading to rapid spikes in blood glucose levels. For older adults who are at increased risk of developing type 2 diabetes, these glucose fluctuations can be especially harmful, potentially contributing to insulin resistance over time. Another concern for the 50-plus age group is the lack of nutritional density in many sugary cereals. As we age, our bodies require more nutrients to maintain optimal health, but often with fewer calories due to decreased metabolism. Consuming empty calories from sugary cereals can lead to nutritional deficiencies, potentially impacting bone health, muscle mass, and cognitive function. Furthermore, many sugary cereals contain artificial colors and preservatives. Some studies suggest that these additives may negatively affect cognitive health and behavior, which could be more pronounced in older adults. 15. Microwave popcorn. While microwave popcorn is a convenient snack, it harbors hidden health risks for those over 50. The primary concern lies in the chemical coating inside the bag, which often contains perfluorooctanoic acid, PFOA. When heated, this chemical can leach into the popcorn and has been linked to various health issues, including thyroid problems and certain types of cancer. As we age, our bodies become less efficient at detoxifying such chemicals, potentially increasing their harmful effects. Another cause for concern is the artificial butter flavoring in many microwave popcorn varieties. It often contains diacetyl, a chemical that has been associated with lung problems when inhaled in large quantities. While the risk to consumers is generally considered low, older adults with existing respiratory issues may be more vulnerable to its effects. Thanks for joining us on this eye-opening journey through the foods that those over 50 might want to reconsider. Remember, knowledge is power when it comes to your health. If you found this information helpful, please give this video a thumbs up and share it with your friends and family who might benefit from it. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more health tips and insights. Hit that notification bell to stay updated on our latest videos. Your health matters, and small changes can make a big difference. Until next time, here's to eating smarter and living better.